Yeah, I am quite persuaded this is going to be maybe a brief, but probably one of the most unpopular, if not easily rejected, most resisted videos or things I've ever said. Plainly, frankly, as clearly as God will allow me to make possible, or as clear as God will make possible through such a weak vessel as myself. I hear it said often, even as instruction, command, go ye therefore into all the world, or go ye therefore and make disciples of all nations, and many repeat this as the instructions they personally have received or believe all receive, and therefore in obedience to this they preach, and therefore in keeping with this instruction they teach, and therefore they are doing the will of God because they believe, or would have others believe, that they are being obedient to what is called the Great Commission. And so many run, and many go, and God knows if I'm just running and going, unheeding. But God help us all. What precedes that go is this: all authority in heaven and earth has been given me. All authority in heaven and in earth has been given me. Therefore, and until that is settled in the heart of the believer, he is not being sent. He may run, he may go, but if he neglects the hearing of that, at least he may not understand, even as I'm sure I do not understand, the full extent and ramifications of all authority being given to Jesus Christ in heaven and in earth. But again, if there is any neglect of that, if there is failure to hear that now. You will hear it elsewhere, I am sure. I am not thinking I am the only vessel, God forbid. God forbid, that's just sheer stupidity. But if the neglect of hearing of that is there or here, all authority, in other words, everything is under the feet of Jesus, and there is nothing that is happening that is outside both his control and will in either heaven or earth. And your job, if you believe you have it, is not to make it under his authority, but to recognize his authority and preach his authority there. Not to bring something to bring it under authority to Jesus, because it already is. And so if one is tending, even as God knows I know a man who tends very well to congratulate himself, pat himself on the back, be as extremely self-important and puffed up as any man could ever be reminded, God knows how to deal with such a man. And if you don't know, you will. Because God is not looking for help. Jesus is not waiting to be Lord of heaven and earth. Jesus is not anxious. Jesus is not frittering away his words. He is in all authority. And so by the grace of God, if this is at all new to one, good, because it is always new. But if this is unhearable to one, God knows.